Hey, good morning. Good morning. It's great to see everybody. Thanks so much for tuning in. My name is Jeff Fritz. Today is June 12th, 2018, and welcome back to my live stream. I call it Fritz and Friends. I see a couple folks here in the chat room. Good morning. Good morning. Oh my gosh, Jester98. Thanks so much for the Twitch Prime subscription. I appreciate you using your subscription here with me on my channel. Of course, I'll match that subscription and we'll turn it into a donation that we'll send over to our friends at Girl Develop It. They help underserved women, minorities, learn how to write code, just like we're going to do here on stream. Good morning, Ancient Coder. Good to see you. And Cryptrix, I see Mazza there, and Namanja is here. Oh, Mazza, thank you for your subscription as well. Look at that. There's Bill and Steve dancing. They're so happy. We'll set up another match to that and send it over to our friends at Girl Develop It. Thank you very much for your support. I appreciate you using that. And both of you will get a chance now to use our .NET bot, our C# bot emote. In-stream, in the chat room, or globally, wherever you go on Twitch, and show your support. Thanks so much. New visual was great. You like the new startup screens? I've got a little bit more coming too. So a couple things that I have been doing, and Cryptrix is kind of hinting at. Oh, Kazru, good morning from Denmark. Good, actually good. It's probably late afternoon over there in Denmark. Let me get to some music first here, and then I should get to the Denmark reference. Today, let's play. I love Blue. Let's play. This is music to code by from our friend Carl Franklin. This is music that's scientifically engineered to get you in the groove, get you focused, so you can get your tasks done better. So you can ask the chat bot about it, music to code by from Carl Franklin, or you can even download an app for your phone, music to flow by. And you'll be able to subscribe to that and get fresh songs every month that are really great and will get you in the groove, just like what we're listening to here today. Thank you very much, Carl, for allowing us to play the music in the background here so that we all get in the groove. So yeah, Cryptrix is pointing out here that I did work on my visuals a little bit. So over here, you'll see I added a block. Oh, there we go. Dev Chatter, thanks so much for hosting. And Steve's happy. Look at that. Steve's applauding you. So I added a little block so that we can see my audio is clipping. And ShiftKit says it's fine. Let me know. I'm pushing 60 frames a second, all green, 5x5 here. And yeah, I haven't dropped a thing. Let me know. Cool. All right. Do my streams get muted when playing music? No, Captain Craft. I've been very good about not playing copyrighted music, and I do have a license for the music that I do play, the music here from Carl. So should that happen, I can easily talk to our friends at Twitch as an affiliate, and I've got a little bit more pull. But I can easily talk to them and show them my license, and they will allow me to play it, along with my intro music. I have a license for that as well. I've purchased those licenses. Well, I've purchased Carl's music, and I've also purchased the intro music. I have a full license for that to play it and use it over on YouTube as well. So I did want to call out that I did add the block in the bottom corner there, so you can see the logos for some of the events that are supporting me, asking me to come and speak at their events. So I want you to know about them in case you want to come out, see me at one of these events. I might at most of them, I'm going to try to run a stream live. The folks at Tech Bash, we're working on making that happen. Yes, Kazru, Germany. Developer Week Germany, 2 weeks out. I will be there. I'm only going to be there on Monday, and I actually will be canceling my Tuesday stream because I'll be flying home at that time. But yes, I will be in Nuremberg. So, Namanja's in Serbia. Very cool. Yes, we are in, so serious, we will be at Developer Week in Nuremberg. Some clipping on the high end. I don't know if that's me. Hey, good morning, Fierce Kittens. Good to see you. Oh, Luce, thank you so much. That's very kind of you. Croatia, very cool. Oh, great to see all of our European friends tuning in this morning. Thank you so much for joining us. Harrow Mingley. I don't know what that is. All right. I also put together. So let me go over back to my OBS scenes here. So I want to show you. I have one more visual. Hey there, Mr. Regs. Okay. The wife texted. All right, so let's go over. I've got another new visual here I want to show. There we go. So you can see me. I've got my alert box ready. QWERTY says he's ready to code. Awesome. Rock on, QWERTY. So I think I like this view a little bit. I felt when I was doing some of those, answering some questions where it wasn't code focused, like when we talked last time about GitHub and Microsoft, I thought a view like this might be a little bit better for me to talk to you and de-emphasize what's going on screen a little bit. So let me know what you think about that, and I've still got room. Steve and friends will pop up over here. Kazru asks, what are we upgrading today? We're going to upgrade both Core Wiki and Stream Tools to ASP.NET Core 2.1.1, and then we're going to go back to work on our .NET Philly, .NET Codename Philly global tool that we're working on. So here we are in my GitHub repository. Coding with Lou says, I'm at work trying to make sense of MVC and jQuery, so figured the stream is relevant. Cool. I know the text in the window is a little small. Like I said, this is me trying to de-emphasize what's going on in the screen a little bit. I just wanted to show this off a little bit. Twitch has had captions. I think the captions that OBS generates for you that you'll see somewhere right about here aren't that great. They're actually coming from Windows, and it's Windows speech to text. It's not Bing speech to text. It's not Google speech to text. The cloud-based ones are very, very good. Ancient Coder, thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. Look forward to seeing you in the chat room. But the one with Windows is only what's coded and sitting in the operating system. So it doesn't, even though I've trained it, it doesn't pick up and fully understand some of the coding jargon that I use. Remove jQuery from your project. No, jQuery is a very good library. So, oh, Justin, thank you for the compliments on the layout. It's legacy, okay. And there's Brave Cobra, good morning. All right. Just Fierce Kittens, you can send me a link to that. Either drop me an email or you can drop me a DM in Discord, and I'll take a look at that. So we're going to take a look at Fierce Kittens. Maybe not today on stream. Thursday, our friend, you've seen him in the chat room, Isaac is going to join us, and we're going to talk about monitoring applications with Isaac Levine, particularly using App Insights, Azure App Insights. We're going to take a look at that, and maybe even deploy Core Wiki as part of that. We'll take a look. Still lurking, just lurking since I'm still at work. That's okay, no worries. So I hope you join me on Thursday when Isaac is with us. So, and I'm thinking about what to do for Friday, for F# Friday this week. I need to figure that out. So I have one more improvement that I want to show you that I did to my layout, and then we'll get into talking about the ASP.NET Core update. So last one, let's go into a more code editing focused layout. See, back to this layout. Hey, Miller, first-time caller, long-time viewer, first-time caller. Great to see you. Thanks for joining us in the chat room. So here I am back in the other layout, and I wanted to open up and really take up the whole space up at the top with our GitHub ticker. And you'll see I even added space for .NET Philly up there because I did get a couple pull requests on that. So I think this looks kind of cool, me with a little nameplate here that rotates through some of my social media information. If you want to find me on YouTube, you want to find me on Twitter, put the followers count, put the viewer count all right here so you can see what's going on with the stream and who's participating without it taking up space up at the top there. Because I think the top is kind of prime real estate, if you will. All right. And when I'm over here in this view, I don't think you want to see this so much, right? It's nice to see that I'm here, that I'm talking, you know, but the code is where we want to be. The bar is too fast. Which bar? The scroll bar? The ticker? An icon rather than text for followers would be nice. That's not bad. Okay. The contributor bar. Let's take a look over here. Where did I put that? It's under views, GitHub. This is HScroll. And the speed, please tell me it's not hard-coded. Please tell me it's not hard-coded. It's in speed milliseconds here. So I could change that. Slow it down just a little bit. All right. I have. Let me go over to my full face here. Actually, I'm going to go to this so you can't really see exactly what I'm typing because I am going to change that duration, and that is speed ms. Speed ms, and I think it's currently by default configured. I love navigating the GitHub information here. The GitHub source code is set to 15 seconds to cross the screen, so let's bump that up to 20 seconds. And I will restart. All right. So if we come back here, there it goes restarting. Is that better? A little bit slower? But I agree, the followers would be great if there was an icon. And then we might be able to do a little bit more with that space as well. So let me know what you think about an icon for that. Yeah, I'm not married to it. Still a bit fuzzy. Not sure. Hey Miller, thanks for the follow. I appreciate that. At full 1080, it should be in pretty good shape. I think I can slow it down a little bit more here. Just slow it down one more. I'll slow it down by 5 seconds more. It is quite readable. All right. And let me restart it. And I also fixed that should be much more readable. There you go. All right. Hey, Buoyant Air. Good morning. It's quite good. Fantastic. All right. So I've got a pull request for Stream Tools, and this is for the top command from Nemanja. And one of the things that we were talking about with this, if we look at the issue here, and Patrick makes a very good point here, and so does Parathon, about making the HTTP client and it's not quite finished. Okay. Should we change the implementation in the image command? It's not using it as static nor inside a using block. I don't know how to add tests. That's okay. I haven't made it too easy to add tests here. Removed models project, models moved to Streamlab Core. Cool. And then the last change you made here was to work with the static HTTP client. Now, what the fellows are discussing here in the commits for this is that the HTTP client object in .NET that makes the request to go fetch something from a web endpoint and make it available, because ASP.NET is loading and destroying these objects so quickly, HTTP client actually shares instances throughout the memory space. So it's better to make a static reference to the HTTP client instead of creating and destroying it, because you'll actually use up your network resources. And they linked to a blog post here from the ASP.NET monsters who talk about this problem. Good morning, Welsh Ronaldo. So one of the suggestions is make it a static object and then work with it there. And I see, you're allocating an HTTP client over here. Another pattern that's now available is we can make an HTTP client available using an HTTP client factory in ASP.NET Core with the dependency injection container, and it will allocate to you an appropriate client when you're constructed. So what I think, Nemanja, we might be able to do, because this will be registered in the bot, is we might be able to receive a HTTP client appropriately and do that in both our image command and this command. It should go in configuration and use DI. Yes. So that way it's right. It's being passed that, and the life cycle of it is being managed by the ASP.NET Core runtime. So that's what I'm going to recommend for this. That is the proper way. So let's go in that direction. I'm just going to comment on that here. Since commands are created and managed by the DI container, let's pass the HTTP client in the constructor so that its lifecycle is managed by ASP.NET Core. But I think you're almost there. This feels like you're just about there. But I do want to work inside the Stream Tools project here on doing the upgrade to ASP.NET Core 2.1.1. So Stream Tools, this is the project. It's ASP.NET Core. I have it running inside of a Docker container, not as a Windows Forms app like our friend Fierce Kittens has. But this runs inside of a Docker container, so it'll run on Windows, Mac, and Linux. I could deploy it to somewhere out on Azure, have it run out there instead of on my local machine. And there was a patch version of ASP.NET Core that was made available. Let's get rid of some of these other things here. And if we go ASP.NET Core 2.1.1, our friend Damian Edwards from the ASP.NET Core team was talking about this on Twitter last night. Yes, they were curling yesterday. Here we go. So early access to .NET Core and ASP.NET Core 2.1.1. Is this the final build? They expect it to be blah, 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 blah. So we could upgrade to ASP.NET Core 2.1.1, and there's a list of issues that were fixed in ASP.NET Core, the .NET Core CLR, .NET Core framework. So I was thinking about doing this update here. Should I do that now on both of these projects? I don't have anything else to really do inside of Stream Tools today. And I really want to get to that .NET Core Global. But this is a patch version that should be released within the next week. What do you think? Should I, chat room, do you think I should go through this? Nuffly asks, what is .NET Core Global? So we're going to take a look at this. We're going to absolutely work on that project in just a minute, Nuffly. But just like NPM has global tools that you can install that are available outside of projects as command line tools everywhere, .NET now has that capability to have tools that you can install from the NuGet repository and have those available everywhere. Yes, please, what? Yes, jump to the global tools, or yes, do the update. Yeah, it is really cool. And I've even got a sample project here that we're working on together on stream that we'll do some work on today. So what I'll describe that project when I get over to it. For right now, I want to take a look at upgrading some of my existing projects here. So I'm going to skip doing this to Stream Tools because I do have a pull request to look at here that is a good enhancement from Emo for Core Wiki. So let's do the enhancement to Core Wiki and apply the pull request and see how it goes. That way I'm not doing it everywhere, right? And then we'll do the production release against Stream Tools later. Now, Core Wiki is another project that we've been collaborating on together here on stream. We'll work with Isaac on Thursday on this project. But this is a very simple, it's turning into a content management system. There's EM Triple, how you doing? But this is intended to be a very simple content management system to run a wiki, just like Wikipedia, but all built and running from ASP.NET Core, so that we can learn some of the basics of ASP.NET Core together. And when some more advanced topics come along around architecture or changing databases, using features in the cloud, we've got a good baseline project that we understand, and it'll be a little bit easier to see how those other tools apply and make and enhance this project. And it'll also make it easy for us to see, if we're managing an existing project, how easy it is to change over to use those other tools, those other features. So let's I'm going to do a poll on this so that we have let's close this. We don't need that right now. We don't need that. So here's Visual Studio. Let me change over to, there's Core Wiki. So all right, now, and you may remember we started this project about 3 months ago with our friend Shane Boyer on stage at the Dev Intersection project. And I hope to be doing more work on this project on stage at Dev Intersection in December in Las Vegas. I think that'll be pretty cool. So, very simple ASP.NET C# project here. How's that font size? Is that font size all right in Visual Studio? I feel like I could bump it up a notch. But let's take a look. We're good. All right. So it says here that, well, first off, it said there was an update to the .NET Core CLR. So we're going to need to download the new SDK. So I'm going to click into this. And so here's the CLI, right? The command line interface. Why only 720? We should be pushing 1080. Aren't I pushing 1080? I'm pushing 1080. 1920 by 1080. 60 frames a second. I'm not. I'm not. 1920 by 1080. Griptrix has it. Let me go to quality here. You know what? It does say source 720p, 760. Okay. Yeah, 60 frames a second. Absolutely. But, yeah, I'm... $1920. Oh, look at that. Output scaled resolution 1280 by 720. How did that happen? All right, we'll fix that for next time. I can't change it midway here. All right, we will fix that for next time. That should not be rescaling on the fly like that. $720p is fine. All right, but I don't want to be scaling on the fly. All right, anyways, let's do the install here for Windows. Yeah, rescaling is not cool because you're going to be getting artifacts. It's going to look chunky. Come on, finish downloading. It's interesting, some folks got me to download and start using Zoom, the Zoom conferencing software, yesterday. Yeah. I'd much rather use Discord, you know? Alright. Come on, finish downloading. There we go. Yep, here it comes. 21301. So if you remember with the versioning, right, they've aligned the .NET Core SDK on this digit. So 21211 is here. Okay? When they version the SDK, they'll version this number. And it's just an awkward thing in this series. Just, no, not you, not Siri. Ugh. Cool. All right. That's done installing. Next task. I need to point to the release by telling it to restore additional project sources and pointing at this location. But I can also modify a NuGet config file. So let's take a look over here. I believe I put a NuGet config. I did not. I thought I had a NuGet config file in this project. So this is in Core Wiki. I will start PowerShell. There we go. Let me go back to my dev branch. Let's get rid of some of these other branches. From when we did other merges the other day. Alright, there's Moz's branch. Alright, and Parathon. Cool. Could I share the link for .NET Core 2.1.1? It is... If you go to ASP.NET Home Wiki, right, this is .NET Core 2.1.1 Easy Access Downloads. Early Access Downloads. Right here. If I open a new tab, take this over here. There you go. Shouldn't git fetch -p remove local branches that have been deleted on the origin? Does it? Does it? Git branch, delete. When you fetch a remote repository, you will get remote branches. So assume blah blah blah. Now imagine someone else merges feature X in the master and moves the feature branch from the remote. The 3 remote branches still exist, including one, I believe, to prune any branches that no longer exist on the remote. Oh, so if we do git fetch prune origin, it'll nuke those other branches. Well, I don't think I wanted to do that. Okay. So now if I look at git branch, cool. All right. I can work with that. Thanks for the tip, Steve. All right. So next step we needed to do was we needed to add this NuGet repository so that we can get the references to those packages that have been published they're kind of in the waiting pattern, right? They're waiting to be published. They're getting some QA verification. So what I want to do, I want to create a NuGet config file, and I believe, yes. So under .NET New, right? .NET New is our command that comes with the .NET command line. There is a template for a NuGet config file. So I can execute .NET New NuGet config, and it will give me a NuGet config file here in this project folder. So I'll go back to Visual Studio. You can see there's NuGet config right here, and package sources. Okay. I want to remove all the other ones, and let's call this 211 early access. And I will paste in that address that we got from the GitHub location. So this is a way for us to peek ahead and grab the packages that are out there waiting to be staged. Hey, do you know what the requirements are to get an internship from Microsoft? I do not, game me. I do know that they've already started, the interns have already started for the summer. But if your university, if your college has a relationship with Microsoft, if you talk to your career development center, like at my school, Penn State did, they'll have information about how to get started, and they should have details about that for you. Off the top of my head, I do not know. I don't work with that program. I wish I had more information for you. But this is a way for me to repoint my tools for only this project, right? The NuGet config affects this folder and below. And I'll repoint and use those other packages. All right, so we can see what was fixed here. You know, I'll let you dig in and read these. But I believe, let's browse to that location, because it's just a JSON file that has the index. And here are the resources for these. Orchestrated release 2.1, autocomplete jQuery, autocomplete query, search query. Let's see what happens if we do a .NET restore now. So .NET restore will install any updates that we need from out there. Let's see what happens. Didn't give me any details. Let's take a look at our project here. I'm going to edit the project file directly. And I'm actually going to... So this doesn't have a version number, which means it'll just grab the latest version that matches this target framework. What happens if I changed these to 2.1.1 and try .NET restore? Right? Did I save that? Yes, I did. Will I get new files? Nope. Web Visual Studio, Code Generators MVC, 2.1.1, 2.1.1, blah, 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 blah. Core Wiki, okay, 2.1.0. So it looks like I do need to force this by saying version equals 2.1.1. Try it again. That looks like it worked. All right. Let's make sure it runs, huh? That'd probably be a good idea. Make sure the application runs. Right? That's that little bit of testing that I owe you, right, Steve? You made a change. Make sure it runs before you commit to source control. All right. Localhost 5000 is the default URL for ASP.NET Core applications, which bumped me now with the 2.1 series over to an HTTPS endpoint. I've got a bogus certificate installed that's a developer-generated certificate, so I don't get any errors. And it looks like it's running just fine. So I'm not going to go too much further. It loaded, it's running, it compiled, right? I would expect if there was some kind of an error, breaking error, that I would have seen it by now. Yes, triple. All right, so I will commit this, trying the ASP.NET Core 2.1.1 early access code. All right. Ah, rats. I need to add that NuGet config. So I will use the commit amend to tack it on to the previous. And then I will git push, and that'll update. And there we go. Now let's take a look at the patch that we have here, the pull request that we have from this. I believe this is EM Triple there in the chat room. Search and latest UI grid enhancements. So enhance all CSHTML to display articles in a grid view. So let me rerun the application so you can see what this is doing now before I do the merge. So if we take a look at the all list of articles, you see it's got a grid view, and it actually responds very nicely to the resizing. And it's centering the articles on the next line. That's fine. And I like that it goes to 3 across. So, you know, this is pretty cool. It's a nice visualization. If I go over to latest changes, though, I've got this really wide, taking up too much space, and I have to scroll to really see everything, instead of how it's all really taking up just the space that it needs. Oh, updated the dark theme also. Let's see, what else did we change? So latest changes, search. What did you do to the dark theme? So let's take a look. I'm going to you know what? Let's do this. I'm going to let this run using the .NET watch command. So watch will sit there and it will restart when it sees changes to C# files. So that's just running in the background. And I'm going to open another another command line here, and I'll go over to Core Wiki, start PowerShell, so I get my Git tooling here, and I will grab the command line instructions so we can pull those in. Make that nice and easy to pull in. Now, while that's pulling in, we should see... Oh no, you only changed CSHTML. This won't restart. Haha! Alright. So, changes to latest changes and search. So, our Razor templates, so our HTML mixed with C#, right? These are templates just like you would have in PHP or in Node. I can now... I don't need to restart my server. It will just interpret and show the latest. So that's cool. That worked. Looks nice. And there's even updates for the dark theme. Oh, I like that with the blue offset on the titles. Very swanky there, EM Triple. Very nice. And what was the other one? Search. So if I search for caps, I get the one there. Not bad. The only criticism, the only thing that I would say is when there's just one, it'd be nice if it was left aligned, but I'm okay with that. That's fine. But now the dark theme, I think, looks really sharp there. Cool. All right. I like it. I'm actually... Let's do that. It's git checkout dash, so I go back to my previous branch that I was in. And I'm just going to merge this over here because it looks good. This looks great. Thanks for the contribution. I'll confirm that merge. Good. And I'll leave the comment. Now, the scoreboard should restart automatically for us and show those new changes coming in. And there it goes. Hey, good morning, Chef Brent. So when Core Wiki comes across, we should see EM Triple leading the way for the week. Tops all time. Come on. Core Wiki, top for the week. It's not showing it yet. Why isn't it showing it? Should have picked it up. Triggering refresh of scoreboard. It refreshed it. It refreshed it. Tops for the month. It's not there either. Wasn't there... If I go over to contributors, we should see EM Triple here. There he is. Oh, you know what? It's not showing the new ones yet. Three days ago. Oh, you know what? Because it was 3 days ago, I wonder if it's counting it as last week. Even though it was merged now. You know? Right? So 2 minutes ago was when that was merged. Right? And 2 minutes ago. So I think the calculation for the scoreboard time... Right, I think the calculation is slightly off. Just because of how it grabs the time. But that was really easy, doing the upgrade to ASP.NET Core 2.1.1 and deploying that. You know, I'm pretty happy with how easy that was. But now I'm questioning how that scoreboard reloads. So if you'll indulge me for a second, I'm done with Core Wiki here today, I think. Notifications. Yes, this is actually something that I'm in talks with bringing in a guest pair programmer to work on. So I think we'll be looking at this with... Shoot, who was it? I've got a couple pair programmers lined up, and I think we're going to end up looking at this very, very soon. If you'll indulge me, I'm going to go over to Stream Tools, and I want to take a look at where it's grabbing the date for the commit. It should be for the current, it should be for, right, code that was merged for the current week, not so much when it was written. Hey, Isaac, you missed it. I was praising you earlier in the stream, saying, you know, how great it is that we're going to have you joining us on Thursday. All right, so I am over here, back in Stream Tools, and I want to look at, this is the service that populates the scoreboard up top there. I know it's a ticker, but it's kind of a scoreboard. It's a thing. So get last committed timestamp. And that comes out of my repository, get last commit timestamp. Now I have, here's the recent contributors. Okay, so I have it cached, and I have it sitting cache for a minute, for a minimum of a minute. Get contributors on the repository statistics. Okay. So what I'm looking at here is when when I look at contributors, let me go back and look at the one for Core Wiki, because we should be able to point right at that for E3 here. And it's showing 2 commits. No, I don't want to look at that. No offense, I don't want to look at your profile right now. Oh, Janesco. Yes, I have some ideas around that one too. So the commits are listed as 3 days ago, because that's when they were committed to your repository, but they weren't merged until today. So let's take a look here. Earthquake, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate you joining us. Look forward to seeing you in the chat room. All right. So top contributors, add range where. So contributors, yeah. Okay. So the contributor object. Hang on. Right, contributors is a read-only list of contributors. Let's poke that a little bit. If I say dot first, so I can just grab a contributor. It's got a weeks object. Okay, give me the first one of those. A, C, D? Huh? And then it's got a week. What is ACDW? What the heck are these? Is that adds, change, additions, commits, deletions? Oh, GitHub. And then week. Alright, so. And it's just a number. Bummer. So it's already calculated the date on those. I'm not going to be able to reach in. Right, these are all primitives. I'm not going to be able to reach in and take a look at the date and do something about it. The date on an individual commit and say, oh, here's when it was merged. Rats. All right. All right. The more you know. I feel like a number. Well, at least you're not a single character. You know, that would be different. That would be tricky. What do we got going over here? Over here on okay. Oh, you know what? I've got somebody on Twitter criticizing me because I said, hey speakers, make sure you wear a clean shirt and shave before you go on stage. And saying, oh, what, women don't speak? Come on. Let's not. That's you know very well that's not what I'm doing. You're trying to stir a fight there. Come on now. And I mentioned that I was shaving and that I'm not one of those folks with the Gillette contract. Yes, Fierce Kittens, people do get triggered over the weirdest things. And no offense to some of the ladies, but sometimes they could use a little trim as well. Some ladies have that problem. Nothing wrong with that, but they could use that. Can't all sport the goatee as nicely as I do here, right? I mean, look at that goatee. Isn't that fabulous? But the one comment on Twitter, shots fired. The one comment on Twitter was, real programmers use Harry's. I do use Harry's. But if the Gillette sponsorship people want to change my mind, I'm welcoming them to try to change my mind. I'm going to get blasted for saying that. For saying what? That some ladies sometimes need to... It's a thing. There are some folks that they do need to shave. Bearded.net team. There's definitely a thing there. I've had the goatee since before I was on the .net team. So, all right. Harry's is very nice. I do enjoy using Harry's. All right. Hot Pocket triggered. Nice. Check out issue 112. Issue 112. Notifications. Yes. So I was just talking. I mentioned this briefly here. EM Triple. I like this idea of notifications, and I am talking to a potential guest pair programmer here later this month about doing notifications here on stream, and I think it'll be really cool. Thank you, Fierce Kittens, for taking my back there. I appreciate that. All right, let's wander over. All right, let's start talking about our .NET Global Tools here. So, and I've got 2 pull requests for this. This is really great. I'm thrilled to see this, that folks joined in here. No worries, EM Triple. So, .NET Global Tools are a way for us to enhance the, there it is. Thank you, Gather, for following. I appreciate you joining us here this morning. And Steve. Oh my gosh, Steve, you're getting busy. Yellow Tarragon, thank you for the follow. Steve, you're working up a sweat there, buddy. Take it easy, all right? Take a break. We can cheer on some more developer folks in a little bit, all right? Cool. So, where was I? .NET Global Tools. So, .NET now has a command line, right? And it's a cross-platform command line that's available to folks Windows, Mac, and Linux. And it allows you to build and work with .NET easily right there. Right, so if I say .NET version, you'll see there's my 21301 .NET SDK that I installed just a few minutes ago. Matthew Dev, thank you for the follow. I appreciate you joining us. Steve, take it easy, buddy. All right, don't want you having any problems there. And Steve, I'm sorry to say your rivals, the Golden State Warriors, won the title the other night. So I feel terrible for the Clippers there, buddy. In Poland, it's late afternoon. All right, hey, Gather, that's great to hear you're dialing in. You're joining us from Poland. We've got a number of folks from all over Europe joining us today. All right, so our .NET command line, if I issue the .NET help command here, I get a list of commands that come in the box, right, that everybody gets by default, and there's a couple that are added on that are available to folks when you start to install the ASP.NET features. certifications, entity framework tools, SQL Server cache command line tools, user secrets, so you can manage secrets that you don't want to sneak into source control, and that watch command you saw me run earlier. These are actually console applications. These are command line applications that we're familiar with writing as .NET developers that are bolted on to the .NET command line because we build and deploy them using a special syntax and using a special packaging mechanism. And you can see a little bit more about how to get started with that on one of my previous videos. If you go out to YouTube, right there at my YouTube channel, you can see I walked through and showed how to do that. But if you issue a .NET new, I've installed a template here for, you know what, it's not in this version. Oh my gosh. In the previous version, in the .NET 2.10 SDK, I have a template installed to help me build console applications. Not console applications, global tools, right? So a global tool is just a console application that will be installed and available everywhere that I can run the .NET command line. Mordecai says he double-checked ADC on a contributor object are additions, deletions, and commits. Thanks for confirming that, Mordecai. I appreciate the follow-up on that. All right. So, look at that. We're over 70 viewers. Fantastic. Did I cross? And we crossed 2,400 followers. Look at that! 2,400 followers! Woohoo! Thank you so much, everybody who's joined us. And click that follow button. I really appreciate everybody who's joined us and followed us along on this ride. That's great. Wow, 2,400. All right, very cool. While running .NET Watch, will it pick up changes from those CLI tools, like user secrets? .NET Watch actually watches for changes in C# files and in the project file, and it'll restart appropriately with that. So changes to user secrets, which are in a configuration file hidden somewhere else, it won't pick up. But so let me answer EM Triple's question there. Check this out. So I'm going to go to the GitHub repository for ASP.NET, and I want to look at the meta package. The meta package. Because inside the meta package here is the source code for that web host convenient method that creates the default web host builder. Okay. If we look down here where it brings in add user secrets, we're not going to see it here because it's hidden behind that extension method. Tell me, nope, that's the only place it's referenced. Rats. Got to jump 2-hour conference call. Best of luck to you, Miller. And of course, the video will be available later on YouTube if you'd so like to check back in. Only buildable components. That's a good way to reference it, Isaac. I wanted to look and see if this was added, if the user secrets were added as something that was being tracked. And it's hidden behind the configuration here. I'm not able to easily find it. Rats. I'm not going to be able to prove that. The .NET Watchdog just got updated by me. Nice. Great job, Isaac. So coming back to this, so we started building this samples project, right? And the idea here is, and I've code named it Philly because I live in the Philadelphia region, and I wanted to use, I didn't want to steal the samples keyword, the samples verb. So I started with Philly, and if it gets renamed to something else, because you know how Microsoft marketing is, right? .NET samples installer 2018 plus, you know, R2. Anyways, so what I'm going to do. Oh, cool. That's a great idea, Mordecai, to request documentation added for that. That's a good idea. Do I have an endless mug there? No, it's just a really big mug. And I don't drink a lot each time. I just a little bit to wet my whistle each time. So what this project is doing is I want to be able to download and extract sample code from the sample repository. If you look at things like Nerd Dinner and the MVC Music Store, these are great sample applications that are available out on the web, and it's not entirely clear where to go to download them, right? You wouldn't know that they're actually living on GitHub under an ASP.NET Samples folder. You might go to Microsoft.com/.net and look for them there. You might go to docs.microsoft.com, search for them there. We've actually got samples and workshop code littered across a half dozen different websites. And this is something that I'm working on right now as part of my role on the Microsoft community team is let's centralize and make it easier for folks to download samples, try some .NET code on their local machine with the tools, or you know what, if you want to present a workshop to folks at your workplace, be able to download that workshop code and slides and from a central repository with everything that you need as a speaker to teach and share with your colleagues, with folks that are in your community that want to learn more about .NET. So this is a little bit of what I'm trying to do here is I want to put together as a prototype a command line tool so that you can say .NET space samples and then request an install of MVC Music Store or Nerd Dinner easily right there on your machine. Isaac says, was part of moving all the samples for .NET into its own repo. They're not all there, though. They're in a bunch of different places, and the .NET samples repo that Isaac's referencing. So let's see, that was GitHub, .NET samples, because there's also ASP.NET samples out there as well, right? C# framework, machine learning tutorials. So there are samples here. But what if you don't know how to download stuff from GitHub? Maybe you're Git adverse, right? To build and run your sample. Right? How do I get, just the C# sample? I just want the list quick start sample. You have to clone the entire repository to get it. So wouldn't it be great if you could just download a zip and get it? Ideally, links to respective samples in .NET docs. Great idea. Don't like Git? Say it ain't so. Yep, absolutely. What about a new Sample Plus page? Ding, 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 so serious. Yes. Yes. Love it. Absolutely. I got to go back over here. Absolutely so serious. I like that idea. In fact, I'm going to give you a standing ovation for thinking about that one. When that was included with docs, the repo was like 3 gig. I know! Nobody wants to download a 3 gig repository when you can take a look at here, a list quick start. This is literally a CS proj and 60 lines of code. So what, it's 5K? If it's zipped, it's even less. So we want to make it drop dead simple for you to get samples downloaded and installed on your machine so you can try it, and you've got code available that you can learn from. So that's what we're trying to do here with this little prototype project that the Scots don't know about yet, all right? Don't tell the Scots, okay? I'm talking to you. All right. So I'm thrilled that we got a couple pull requests here for this, and I want to take a look. Justin has a commit here. Overwrite during extract and update temporary URLs. So the code that we wrote, just to bring everybody up to speed, I wrote some code to actually go and download the project, and I need to make sure that the output folder is created and that it exists, and we need to actually do some error handling. Scott Addy might be here. No, he's not. I'm looking at the list of folks in the chat room. No, he's not. I learned something from our friend Fierce Kittens. She's here in the chat room. She recommended I check out Chatty. That's an IRC client that lets me monitor and have just the chat room up, and I've got it on my 24-inch widescreen. I have turned portrait mode right over here so I can take a look at it. But Scott is not here. Shh, don't tell him either. All right, but I'm doing this all in the public. Who knew? So Justin says, replace the sample URLs in repository to GitHub links for testing. Removed create output folder because extract to directory creates the destination folder. So that was me being a little over paranoid. Passing true to extract to file to overwrite files when a sample already exists. Thank you, Justin, for picking up and making that a little bit clearer what's going on. So let's take a look at the files. Yeah, so I had just put a dummy URL in here, and that's great. This is where Music Store actually lives. So there's actually something here. Maybe. Right, if we go to releases. So there's the latest release. Yeah, archive. Show 8 other tags. So, yeah. Alright, so, right, if I actually use, where'd it go? Right, if I use that full URL, does it actually start downloading something here for me? Cool. I don't care what it is, I'm just glad that it's downloading. Alright, oh, and look at that. Get samples, just doing fat arrow notation to return the list of samples. Because right now this really is just a very simple implementation of a repository. We'll make it more realistic when we get out of a prototype here. And forget, look at that, more fat arrow notation. Look at that. Love getting rid of additional source code. While this is very terse, when we do need to be a little bit more build out a little bit more, we're going to end up back in this layout, but for right now I'm okay with that change. That's more of a style thing when we're talking about it. It's not fat, it's big boned. Alright. And then over in program, creating a new client, forcing the base address to the registry location. Cool. Okay. And then download project, and in download project, you're just forcing it to output folder or the sample name as the name of the destination folder. And then you replaced zip archive extract to directory, destination folder, and passing true with a catch next to it. Cool. All right. And you removed some of my console write lines by putting a new line character at the end. That's fine. That's fine. Looks good. I'm going to merge this. All right. Thanks for the contribution, Justin. All right. Now we should see the board refresh here within the next minute, and because this was only a couple days ago, it should pop on that on the list for this project. Let's take a look at the other pull request. Added logging and added a try catch for HTTP request exception from Parathon. All right, let's take a look-see. So a couple files changed. Over here in program, referenced logging. Yep, added the logger with a new logger factory. To console, added debug level. Fantastic. That's good stuff. right? Reusing, so we're getting the same logger logic that we see in the default ASP.NET Core templates. So Parathon has added this base logger that we're familiar with, and then added some information here saying retrieving samples from the registry or downloading, so we can see that information when we have the logger turned on. Cool. Okay. Oh, look at this, and you even have a nice error around that exception. And we added the logging capabilities here. All right. See you all. Wish you I wish you still great fun. Oh, all right. Catch you later. So serious. All right. Let's is there a, yeah, I was gonna say there's a merge conflict here. I can see it. So let's do this merge and take a look. So first things first, I'm going to git pull so I get the latest copies of everything, and then I will do the merge. Yep, we've got the conflict now in my program CS. I'm going to use that's down in the right .NET. There it is. I'm going to use Visual Studio Code to visualize these changes because I really like the way that it does the compare here. HMigo, thank you for the follow. I appreciate you joining us. Thanks for greeting Steve. You're a great welcomer. I think you've got a terrific future ahead of you at Walmart, because they always need help greeting people at the door. All right. Not now. All right. Justin says, I have a branch for unit testing the samples controller just to get us started with a test project in the solution. Should I submit as a PR? Go for it. That's a great idea, Justin. Yes, please do. Which test framework are you using? Let me know. Let's see here. So on execute, we do need to return 0 at the end, so I'm going to keep the current change on this. Okay. And download project. Now, HTTP client was being passed in, and it has the base address, which is the registry, which does contain samples on it. So the I think I want to take the new one here because it uses the same getString async for the same location, but it captures the request exception with a nice error to log. So I'm going to accept the incoming change. And then our next one down here is output available samples. Now this is where we need to use a little bit of diligence here because there are some differences. Using MS test. Okay, that's fine. We've used NUnit and we've used XUnit in other projects. Let's use that here. I'm all right with that. All right. Cool. All right. So let's see. Available samples from registry. I think I want to do a little bit of both here. Actually, the only difference I see between this one and that one is we have the new line character at the end of this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to include the incoming change and put the new line character there. Yeah, and then we can get rid of this extra line here. No, it's all right, Justin. I don't have a problem. I don't have a problem switching back and forth between the various unit test frameworks. What I do have a problem is I need to use more unit tests. That's my problem. All right, so that merged. So let's add that. Completed merge. Now now let's actually try it. So I can .NET run at the command line, and it'll build and give me my exe in my bin folder here. Could not retrieve from localhost 5001. I'm not actually running the website yet. So my sample, my test website, let me go get that running. There it is. .NET samples web. Let me just run the dummy website here that has those endpoints that we're going to bounce off of. There we go. So now if I .NET run, I should get my list of samples. There they are. So music store, nerd dinner. I need to finish trimming out, you know, with actual commands there. So if I say .NET nerd dinner, .NET samples nerd dinner, it should create a folder called nerd dinner and put that sample in it. Oh, I didn't install the tool yet, so I have to .NET run. Nerd dinner. Downloading nerd dinner. And, oh, look at that. Look. Why do I have Music Store MVC? That's not how you spell remove object. Still didn't remove it. You make me sad. That's better. All right. So, did it do it properly? Let's get rid of the Nerd Dinner MVC project. Let's run the exact same thing again. Yep, it created just Nerd Dinner, and if I open it up, there's all my source code. Sweet! Very cool. So now it downloads, extracts, and I've got my code. Awesome stuff. I really like that. Yeah, let me get rid of Nerd Dinner. Cool. So now I can merge and push that up. Paste that in. Merged, resolving. Cool. All right. Hey, quick draw. We're doing great. We're working on a .NET global tool that will allow you to download and install samples from a central .NET repository easily. So this should work on Windows, Mac, and Linux. All right. So we should see it identify and pick up the sounds useful. I think so too. Quick draw. Right? The idea is make it easier for folks to get some of these samples that they may want to run locally. Learn a little bit, tweak a little bit, and see how things run. There you go. You saw the timeline, the stock ticker refresh up there. We should see some updates come in now for what's called the .NET Philly project. And I just want to keep an eye on it, make sure that it worked. What's up there? Come on. Come on. Show us our new contributors here. Top all time. That's for Core Wiki. .NET Philly. Top for the week. There we go. There's Justin and Parathon. All right. Woohoo! So, yeah, quick draw. I'm just making sure, right? We have this ticker up at the top that shows all of our contributors to various projects we work on here on stream, and I want to celebrate and recognize those folks that are giving some of their time to help out with our projects. So there you go. Thanks so much for helping out with that. All right. So That was, thanks for the contribution. This really helps. All right. Absolutely, Quick Draw. We want to make sure that we're polite, we're nice to all of the folks in our community. Encouraging, because we're trying to learn here, right? We want folks to feel welcome. You know, come join us, you know, have a good time. If this works for you, great. If it doesn't, that's okay too. At least we gave you an opportunity to learn a little bit about it. So, do I accept noob? Absolutely, Quick Draw. That's why I'm here. I'm all about answering the questions. Yeah, no problem. You know, gosh, I spend a lot of time answering questions from folks here on stream. Never a problem. All right, so that was right. The music store and Nerd Dinner are simple examples there. Hey, I thought we had 2,401 followers. How did we go down? Did somebody unfollow me, I guess? Any experience with Elixir and Phoenix Framework? No, I do not have experience with those. I know there's some other streamers that do work on that. I focus primarily around C#, .NET tooling, JavaScript, CSS on Fridays. Fridays are F# Fridays, and we spend a lot of time learning F# on Friday mornings. So, all right. So we actually did this. Logger is now implemented. If someone gets banned from Twitch and they are your follower, I believe it counts them as unfollowed. Oh. Good to know, AKR Commando. Good to know. We need to figure out package signing at some point. We wanted a configurable catalog endpoint. Alright, I don't need that one just yet, but I want to fix the formatting here for the available samples. Let's see here. So right now I just output the sample name. Oh, thanks for the follow, Quick Draw. I appreciate that. Now we should see that follower number pop back up to 2,401. So right now it's just outputting a list of the sample names. I should put... what do we have here? I'm not really good at programming, been doing it for 3 months total, so was kind of looking for some advice. I feel I am so close yet so far. Okay, see, here's where that other scene, I think, fits in nicely. There we go. Look at that. Now I'm talking to you. This is Jeff Gets Serious for a minute. What you're going to find in programming is that it's not a journey with a destination. It's an ongoing journey. You're going to be continuously learning. There's new features, there's new frameworks, there's new technologies that are going to come along that you're going to want to learn so that you keep up and you can get into those other industries, those other spaces. Nobody would have predicted 10 years ago that we'd have a HoloLens. But if you want to program for that, you need to learn those frameworks, those technologies. Bargaw makes a good point there. Programming never gets easy. It gets... You're going to learn new things. You need to be committed to always learning, right? And I think what you see from me here on stream is, even though I've been doing this for almost 20 years, I'm still learning too, right? There's things that I know that I'm sharing here on stream, but from the folks in the chat room, folks like you, I'm learning from you as well, right? There's some folks here who are really good with the Bootstrap CSS framework, for example. And I'm not familiar with all the latest things that happened in Bootstrap version 4. So I'm learning those from them as we go along here. And it's a great pair programming relationship, right? I'm sharing and writing a little bit of code. Folks are contributing back like you see in the GitHub chat rooms. Fierce Kittens, you do teach. Don't Don't sell yourself short. The littlest things that we as older developers, I'm going to hide my gray here for a little bit, the things that we can share, that we can show on stream, that we can pair programs, sit next to you at a desk, present at a conference, helps everybody. And that's what I'm trying to do. I want to pay it forward and help those junior developers, those folks who are coming up, to learn some of the tools and techniques that I've learned previously, so you don't make the same stupid mistakes that I did, because I made a lot of them. Hence the kappa, yes. That's what makes software development fun. Yeah, is always learning. If you think you get it, you aren't growing. Yeah, you should always be challenged. It's full of aha moments and self-fulfilling continuously. Amen, Triple. Amen. So, thanks for chipping in there, Franklin. But I think it is fun, and that's why I consider software development a hobby as well. Is that I'm learning and growing, and doing new things, and it scratches that part of my brain that makes me makes me think I'm intelligent. If I'm not challenged at work, I get bored, stop learning, and eventually quit. Yes. Learn by and do moments. Yes. That's why, last week we had Amanda Lang on, and we did some Unity development, because I have never written a game before. But you know what? In the 2 hours that we had Amanda on with us, I learned how to write some basic 3D object interactions using game modeling concepts. And I want to push that a little bit further. And eventually I'd like to learn how to write a simple pinball machine. Easy for me to say. So I'm gonna work on that. I'm gonna try and grow and get outside of just building websites. Do something cool. My most memorable mistake when learning C# for the first time was instead of using an int as a counter, I created a list of ints and added one to the list and then counted to get physics and stuff in Unity. Yes. Yes. And that's why you switched companies. There you go, Franklin. All right. So let me go back over to the code. So I'm going to clean up this output here a little bit, so it's not just the sample name. There's a way to put a couple tabs here. No, you know what? I want to do character alignment. Shoot. Right? When we format, you can tell it to leave how many characters instead of doing the old Fortran. Oh, that's good. Right, there's a way to do that formatting with our string and fix a number of spaces in there. And Bill Wagner was telling us about this. B. Trays, thank you for the follow. I appreciate you joining us. Look forward to seeing you in the chat room. Thanks so much for the follow. And if you're watching this, of course, on YouTube playback, do me a favor and tag the little bell in the top corner of the screen so you can get a subscription and be notified each time one of these videos is released. I hope you enjoy it and have fun watching the videos. So, and if you really want to ask questions and get involved, join me in the mornings when we're streaming live on Twitch. Bargaw says, I miss C#. Stuff looks so neat and organized. When I look at Python code, I wonder how that stuff isn't falling apart. I think coding discipline and organization is something that's really up to the developer and the development team. There are ways to stay organized with your Python code. I'd like to work on the registry override issue. Can you go over what you have in mind for it? A new argument to override the default registry. In Friday, it's an F# thing. Let's talk about the catalog endpoint here so we can get Justin looking at this. So that the idea here is we have a default endpoint that right now is hard-coded into the project. But we should be able to override or add another endpoint to get samples from. So thinking out loud. I think there needs to be, and chat room, I'll look to you for feedback on this as well. I think there needs to be a configuration file on disk. You know, maybe it lives in right. You can go %app data. Right, you see %app data. If you type that into your command line there on the run window, it'll take you right into your ID. Right, and this is actually C users, your ID, app data roaming. You know, maybe we create a .NET samples folder here that has a config.json file in it. And if that file is present, we read some value out of it and put that up there. What do you think? Give me some feedback on that. Janesco, is there a way to add Leaderboard that is synced with Azure and Unity? That's not a bad idea, Janesco. And actually, so I was speaking to Philip Carter about F# Friday, and he was suggesting that we use. So right now, the scoreboard up top is actually right. It's a poll where it's checking once a minute for it. We could turn it around and have a webhook trigger that loads that and use some F# to populate it. Pimplechek says, it feels strange when you say every morning when it's 4:30 in the afternoon. I understand what you're saying. It's morning here, where I am in the States. Could add it to app.json. But app.json lives where? How would that config file destination be handled cross-platform? There's... Shoot. Very good question. I believe in .NET Core there's a way to get... Right, to get home folder... Oh, look, and it's opened by our friend Oren. Is this closed? It is closed. Okay. Let's see. What do we say here? Environment special folder user profile. Environment special folder is an enum and it's defined in Core CLR. There we go. So here in Core CLR, special folder. So we could go into application data, right, by requesting that and writing it into that folder. But I wonder where that goes on Linux, right? So environment special folder, whatever. Almost nothing of it applies cross-platform in a meaningful way, and it caused us a bunch of issues in mono. Blah, 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 blah. Better start from a clean slate. Okay, but it's over here. That's a lot of source code. I'd really like to go to the current version of that, please. Let's go to master. Oh, it's not there. It's not there. So let's go back to Core CLR. We should be able... there we go. There's system environment. Environment, yeah.
Feature Win32. Okay. Yeah, that's a very good question. All right. So let's go back. .NET Core home folder. There's gonna be. That's 2009. That can't be right. Nope. There we go. Let's see what's here. 2016. No. No. We'll take a look at that one. Get special folder enum values on Windows and Mac in .NET Core. So application data, there we go. So environment, special folder, and referencing application data will put you into this location on a Mac. Let's see. So we could get down into the home folder. I don't want desktop. Right, I want to get into like application data, which would be here. Yeah, I think let's use application data. What do we got there? I'm not sure what you're pointing out there, EM Triple. Can you give me some context for that little bit of source code you mocked up? All right. So what I wanted to do was just do that quick .NET string format and make our samples look a little bit better. Yeah. Standard numeric format? No. Right. To get the samples from file. I don't want to get them from a file. I always want to reach back and get them from a central repository. I want to do... I'm going to do like the text formatting. No. Because I want to do like spacing, you know? Right, like there. 0,8. That's what I want. What happened here? Oh, brother. There's an ongoing discussion on Twitter about closing browser tabs. They can add, change, remove repository URLs. Oh, okay. Yeah. Right, let's make it a JSON file, because everything else is JSON. And our configuration objects will be able to read that easily. But I'm going to do this little bit of string formatting here real quick. Finish this, and then, since you're already picking up and you want to start talking about that, right, let's read a JSON configuration file from system environment special folder. Not that one. App data. Application data. All right. Good deal. How about some old school INI files? Ah, Jester. For Windows folks, sure. For Linux folks, they will tar and feather you. That's what I think of any files, alright? So, let's do this string formatting right here. We're just writing out the name, but I want to do this with a little bit of formatting, I think. Yeah. I'm going to do old school string formatting here. So the name, let's give it 20 characters. And, oh shoot. .NET string format, and it was this one. Right, the one does a left align, and the other one does a right align. Right, and this is doing a left align, 0, comma. I forget what does the left align. .NET string format left align. Yeah, here we go. It's a negative. Stack Overflow for Teams. That's nice. Alright. So, stop it. I just realized I'm working in Visual Studio Code on this one. Whatever. Alright, so let's left align that. We should also make this 20 characters. Let's do that. 0 minus 20. And actually, let's reuse that. Right, now I can just say line format. Hey, there's Ellie Face. Good morning, one of our Philadelphia area friends. Not lean format, line format. There we go. All right. Let's see here. All right, so that should format a little bit better. I've got 15 minutes. I do have a hard stop at noon today. I've got a meeting with several people named Scott that we're going to need to get to. All right, so that should format sample name. I also want to do then the command name will be the next one after that, and let's cap the command name at 10 characters. You know what? Let's make this. Right, we can do string. We want it hyphen new string. And I think it's like that. Yeah, there we go. And I'll just start with 80 characters across. Jam that on the end. There we go. The Scots, the power of the Scot. Yes, absolutely. So they told me if I wanted a promotion, I needed to change my name. Not happening. So, oh, check it out. I gotta show Ellie. I gotta show her while she's here. Check it out. Here's my breaking it down, getting real. In a very special Fritz and Friends, Jeff talks about writing code responsibly. So, I thought that looked cool. But back to here. And oh my gosh, and I grabbed a new sound effect because I was so inspired from our friends who were doing, what's it called last night? I've been watching E3, right? I watched E3 a bit yesterday with Ellie, with Chef Brent, and some of the friends over there on Ellie Face's stream. They have a lot of fun playing games in the evening. If you enjoy watching folks play games, I think you're playing all kinds of tycoon games this month. Go ahead and check out Ellieface at twitch.tv/Ellieface. I need a shout-out command there on the bot. But we got completely enamored with how everything was a
World exclusive. So I grabbed...
World exclusive.
Yeah, see that?
World exclusive. World exclusive.
See that? That's wonderful. I think I need to wire that up to my Stream Deck real quick. I'm just gonna... Right, here we go. This is the meta. There's all my sound effects. Yeah, let's open the chest and see what's inside. Let's open this. We'll do this over here. World exclusive, because everything at E3 was a world exclusive, and quite frankly, it got annoying after a while. Let's wire this up so that I can annoy you with world exclusive whenever I need to. That's not right. That's not right. Sound effects. World exclusive. There we go. We're gonna need to make that louder, and now it's just available.
World exclusive.
See, it's always a world. Oh, world premiere. We need that one too. Yeah. And of course, you know.
But what I do have are a very particular set of skills.
I do.
Skills I've acquired over a very long career.
It was a long career. And every time I hear Liam say that, I get wrapped up and want to have that Irish accent for the rest of the time, okay?
Do it!
I'll get back to the code. All right, already. In a world where a guy needs to write code and drink copious amounts of coffee. All right. So we got that. I need to now... Oh yeah, we wanted to put the command next. Command. Right, so that should work, right? .NET run, and it should give me the list of samples that are available here. No sugar, no cream. Heck no. Well, that's not right. That's not the command name. It should have been command. But it output the command twice. Huh? Oh. Wrong position. I heard there was a world exclusive premiere. How do I buy? Operators are standing by. There we go. That's better. And I need a little bit of a description here next to it. So let's go to, comma, and then let's... that's not right. That's better. All right. Let's left align it so that's 30. So that gives me 50 characters. So then I can say s dot description dot, and let's make sure we grab just the first 50 characters. Cool. Try it again, see what it looks like. I broke it. Must be greater than or equal to 0 and less than the size of the argument list. Oh. Well, rats. So we've got to say s dot description dot length. If that's greater than 50, then 50. Otherwise, s dot description dot length -1. One more try. What did I do wrong now? Right, if it's greater than 50, 50. Otherwise, s description dot length should have. Oh, you know what? No. Hang on. Hang on. I know what I did wrong. It's not going to end at 50, it's going to end at 49. Because it's 50 characters long. Still no. Alright, you punk. I'll show you. Gonna keep throwing errors on me. Index. Oh! Alright, now I've really messed it up here. Where am I at? Command line utils, command line utils. Line 22. Line 22. Line 22. Yeah, that's in the execute. Line
Line 77. Stack traces. That's fine. Death before decaf. Oh, there's not one iota. Hey, great to see you. I don't really do coffee. That's okay. Mars exclusive. No. No, I don't think we can do that. 10 sugar, 10 cream. I like a bit of sugar and a bit of cream. 10 is a bit much. If you see me at Starbucks, I am all over the white chocolate mocha triple venti with whip. Oh, I love that. I'm missing the header for description. Are you kidding? Is that what I've done wrong here? Yes. Oh my gosh. Thank you. Look at that. That's pair programming. Thank you so much. And that's what I'm talking about. Thank you, Franklin. Big points to Franklin. There we go. I think we need some spaces there. You know what I mean? I think we do. Let's make sure we put spaces between that, which means this needs to go to 82 because I added 2 spaces. Try that again. I think we need a little bit more. 1 is not enough there. And I am just about out of time. Cool. I like it. White chocolate mocha with whip exclusive. Yeah, I can do a lot of those. And it'd be a lot of fun. Oh, thanks for the follow, Iota. I appreciate that. But we are right out of time. Let's clean up where we are here. We need to hurry up. So I just did that reformatting. I'm going to git commit, and I feel like we still need to clean up this description a little. Added more information to the samples list output. Cool. And I will git push that. Yeah, absolutely, Ellie. We're gotta get done. Hurry. Gotta get to that flag at the end of World 1-1. All right. So we committed. Stuff's loaded up there. Thanks so much for joining me here today. Oh my gosh. Triple, thanks so much for the bits. I really appreciate that, and here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to match those bits. We're going to turn that into a donation to our friends at Girl Develop It, as we do with all of our cheers and all of our subscriptions. I never ask you to tip me or pay me for joining me here on stream, but I want to make sure that we grow our community. So I'm going to match that, and we're going to take that and turn it into a great donation to our friends over at Girl Develop It. Yes, Girl Develop It. It's an awesome organization that helps women, underserved minorities learn how to code, just like we are here on stream. So I'm going to be making our first payment over to them in the next week or so here. And I expect to put a tote board somewhere here on stream, maybe even right below me here, to show how much we as an organization are committing to Girl Develop It. They're not just Philly-based, they're all over the place. Look at that, 53 bits from developer Desmond. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it doesn't cheer unless I think I have it with a minimum of 100 bits for reading it. So thank you so much for the cheers. Absolutely, we will match that 53 bits as well, developer Desmond. And I've got something special coming in October around that. More than. Look at that, we went so long we ran out of music from Mario. Who knew? Anyways, I will archive off today's video. You'll be able to check it out a little bit later today over on YouTube. I think we made some great progress here. We've got our sample tool. It downloads, it extracts those samples. It'll fetch that list from the external repository. I think we're ready to move into expanding how our website that'll manage this stuff works so that we can submit code to that repository and build that out so that our sample tool here will be able to fetch and work with those as we grow our catalog. So, let's go back over here to this. Thanks so much, everybody, for joining me today. I really appreciate it. All of our new followers, Iota, B-Trays, and bits that were cheered by developer Desmond, EM Treple, our new subscribers today. Thank you so much for joining us. I really appreciate all of your contributions. We're over 2,400 followers now on stream. That is amazing. Alrighty. So, thanks so much, friends. I'll see you on Thursday when our guest will be Isaac Levine. I think Isaac's still hanging around. Isaac will be joining me, and we're going to talk about application monitoring on Thursday. I hope you tune in. Same time, same channel on Thursday. And Isaac will be here pair programming with us. Take care. We'll see you then.